Welcome to Soul. We are a weekly broadcast for dance teachers, studio owners, and those who have a passion for dance education. It is about celebrating the dance life, highlighting our common bond, and the chance to share both the triumphs and struggles within the field that we all love so much. Be sure to check out all our broadcasts at regold.com. And now, Soul to Soul with host Ree Gold.
Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. This is our third broadcast of Soul to Soul. We're glad you're here with us. Today's special guest is Heather Warner. She's one of the kindest, generous studio owners I know. This year she has had to move her studio and relocate during the pandemic. And she's so optimistic about the future that I look forward to hanging out with her. And maybe her optimism will run off on all of us, or we're off on all of us. Before we go there, I want to tell you about some upcoming episodes and also a change that we're going to make. We have one more episode coming on Mondays, which will be next week, same time, same channel, 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's a special New Year's show with three guests, LaShonda Cheney, Melissa Hoffman, and Ricky Milan. We're going to get together to talk about all the bright lights we see for the upcoming 2021. I think I have a couple of 2021. And then I want to tell, and that episode is December 28th, by the way, next Monday. And then, beginning on January 8th, Soul to Soul will be moving to Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So on January 8th, we will go to Friday nights. We'll be live on all of the same channels. Also, we'd love to hear your comments. Let us know where you're from in the comment box and throughout this episode. You have thoughts, you have comments, we'd love to hear from you. So, I'd also like to say one more thing before I go to where I'm going to take us today. I want to say thank you to our friends at Weissman. They are sponsoring this episode. You'll learn more about them as we move into more of this episode, but I consider them family, and I just want to let everybody know how much I appreciate Weissman and all they do for our community. So, I've been thinking a lot as we come to the end of the year about perspectives of what we've been through, perspectives of what was perceived maybe as the toughest year in most people's lives. But at the same time, what did we learn? What changed for us? And so I have this thing I'm calling Could It Be Today? And here we go. Could it be that it's time to reevaluate dance education and figure out how we can use dance education for good? Could it be that we needed to make change, but we've been too busy trying to achieve more? Let me read that again. Could it be that we needed to make change, but we are too busy trying to achieve more? Now we have been given the opportunity to realign our journey, mission, and goals to the things that will make us happy. And because we've got enough time, I feel like so many of us, me included, have figured out what's going to really make us happy. And it isn't necessarily 24/7 dance. It's balancing that with a fulfilling life. Could it be that we needed to come together as a dance education community? I say that one again. Could it be that we needed to come together as a dance education community? There is no doubt that the pandemic made that happen. Studio owners and teachers within the same towns, communities, and states have come together to support, and they've rallied each other to have a voice in local and state government. I look at it as where you're struggling, you're doing this to struggle to keep your studio open. But the reality of it is you're gaining confidence, you're gaining respect for our field in this journey by stepping out and taking dance into new places and fighting to be recognized for the good that we do. How cool is that? Could it be that we've discovered that we need each other? We're all different. Many have different goals, different objectives, but we all have in common that gift of dance. That something on the inside tells us that we have to pass on every day in order to feel satisfied. That's what we have in common. Yes, we do it different. Yes, some of us have kids that move on to professional careers. Some of us have kids who dance just once a week in our studio. But our bond is the art that we all have to do. And I'll add to that. You know that by coming together in our communities, we've not only kept our own kids dancing, but we've kept each other's kids dancing. We've encouraged the dance community to keep on going, and we have done that as a united group. Could it be, I love this, that we have overcome all the fears that could happen in this life because they did? Think about this. If I told you that your business would go down by 50%, your recital was going to be at the drive-in, and you were going to be teaching on Zoom, you would have thought that it was the Twilight Zone. You would have thought that was the end. So, no more fears. We survived the worst. So don't wake up in the morning and come up with new fears. I see it getting better from here. Could it be the future success will be measured by the number of young people who we inspire to have a passion for dance, even if they've never won an award? Could it be that that's success? That all we need to do is inspire them to have a passion for dance? Regardless if they can do a triple pirouette or not? Could it be that we will appreciate all the things that we took for granted prior to the pandemic? Could it be that we'll recognize the smiling faces of our kids and be more looking for it now? Could it be that we'll consider it a win when a group of kids remembers their whole dance? Can it be that we consider it a success when a kid grabs your leg at the end of class and doesn't want to go? Do we now go into the future and calling all of those things our accolades, our awards, our successes? I hope. Could it be that our new goal is that every child jumps in the car? I tried to say that like I wasn't a Bostonian. I put the R in. Could it be that our new goal is every child jumps in the car after class and says, "Mom, I love dance"? That's the goal. That's it. It's that simple. rather than being the biggest or who receives the most accolades. Passion for teaching all children. Let that be the other side of this. Could it be that maybe we need to be happy with what we have now? Maybe it's not about the bigger house or the nicer car or the bigger studio, but being satisfied on the inside, waking up and being happy with who you are and what you have to offer, what you've accomplished, instead of waking up saying, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when the pandemic is over. I'll be happy when I have more studio space. I'll be happy when I have a better car. Why not just right now, this moment? Because there are so many people, as we've seen over these last 9 or 10 months, who didn't get the chance. They didn't get the chance to pursue their future. And we got it. We have a healthy body. We have so much to do. And that's hard to say or to believe in a year like this. But sometimes I feel like a year like this is something every generation needs to snap us back to reality. Could it be that some of us have a chance to actually have dinner with our families, and that maybe we want to make sure we continue to do that even when we get back to the new normal? That's something to be grateful about 2020, or grateful for 2020. It's brought families together. I think they're now ready to not be together, but only a couple more months. Could it be that this time has given us the opportunity to clearly see those around us and appreciate their support and their sacrifices to keep us all dancing? Whether that's our faculty, the parents in the studio, the kids themselves, the community, the people who jumped in to make sure our kids have a parking lot recital. Let's be grateful for all of those people who made those sacrifices for us. And my final could it be, you guys? Could it be there have been many times over the last months that we could have fallen, but instead it was a stumble. And we got back up every time. And that we'll head into the future better because we have more confidence in who we are and what we believe we can achieve. Could it be that next year will be, as we come out of this, the best times in our career because we are smarter, better, more compassionate, more grateful, and that maybe 10 years from now we'll look back at this time and say, yeah, it was tough, but had it not happened, I wouldn't be in this awesome place I'm in right now. How cool is that? Okay, so I am excited to bring on our special guest for today. I told you that she's one of the most passionate people I know, but she has a way of making kids smile, making dance teachers smile, and making us all appreciate this gift that we have. Welcome to the show, Miss Heather.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to be here with y'all today. Thank you for having me.
Miss Heather, I am always impressed with your attitude, your gratitude. Do you come to us today with a quote to start off this discussion?
I did actually. As listening to what Reed just had to say, I know so many of those things just struck a chord with all of us. We're all on this journey together through this experience. But This one really hit home for me because in my own life, to Ree's point, we've never as a community worked so hard to fight for something that we care about so much and are passionate about so much. And so this I read and I said, oh, this is it for me today. It says, never downgrade your dream to match reality. Upgrade your hustle to match your destiny. And I know for me, like I was meant to work with kids and teach dance, and that's what's in my heart. And so it's not been an easy path, but I know that the hustle is so worth it when you get those moments with those kids, that I wouldn't trade a moment of it, not to mention the growth that we've all seen through all of this. So that was my quote of the day. And I read that every morning actually, because I was like, come on, we're gonna hustle. We're gonna go get it today. So that's my quote for today.
I appreciate your quote. And now I'm going to throw something out at you. With a lot of people watching as we come into the holiday break, many relieved to get a few days off. But you, my friend, managed to pull off being in a safe, secure location prior to the pandemic, and then losing that location and making a move. How did you not just give up?
Well, there were nights when this first started. I actually had said to Ree recently, way back in March, Ree and I spoke on a podcast, and it was like the weekend when we had to all make decisions as dance school owners. Like, what are we gonna do? Like Monday, what is Monday gonna look like? And this is on a Friday when we were all told we got to make some changes. And I think back to that and how we all just kicked into overdrive, coming up with any way we could to keep running and moving forward in a way that we had no idea how to do. And definitely no idea. Like I remember calling Ree being like, I think I'm going to try to do these Facebook Live groups. I'm really not sure how to do it, but we're going to figure it out. And we're going to launch it Monday. So it's Saturday and Sunday. We'll figure it out. And then looking back to that, and then we get to March, get to the point where at the dance school where I was in a big art center building, an old school building, and I loved it so much. I had 16 wonderful years there. And I didn't think for a minute when we shut down on that weekend that I wasn't coming back at all. Like I just didn't. It wasn't, we always thought about maybe the building was getting older, it would be time to start looking. But anyway, circumstances happened over the next month or two where it became a decision I had to make, like, what do I do? Do we try to figure out a way to stay, or do we go? And then if we go, where are we going to go? Like, I don't know. So one night, there's those real estate, websites. I'm on there on one of them. And I'm like, I'm just going to go to a one-room school. I'm no lobby because people can't be in there anyway. And so we're just going to, and I'm going to go from running 3 classrooms every hour to figuring out we're just going to run 7 days a week, which Ree's always laughed at me because I was like, we don't teach on Saturdays. We're closed on Saturday. I'm like, we're going to be open on Saturday, Sunday. We're going to run every hour.
That'll work. You won't get tired with that.
That's where I was. Yeah, that's where my head was initially. And then I put this inquiry online and to a place I didn't even know what it looked like. And it was just, then I get a phone call 2 days later, and then I panicked. I was like, forget that I made that inquiry. I was like, I don't even know if I have, what the business would look like in September. Like, how do you move when you don't even know if you're going to have what that business would be? And so anyway, we ended up in this new space. And while we're running virtual, we're still going, all the classes were running virtual. We ran our outdoor recital in a school parking lot where we had a tent and a wedding dance floor. It was like a wedding tent and a dance floor. And we went and filmed this recital where there's no audience, but live stream. And as that's happening, we had filmed, I told you before, probably in the past, about Ellie the elephant outfit that we wear periodically for the kids. And we put this outfit on and we filmed us skipping from our old location, it's about a mile, to our new location, and then told the kids at this recital, virtual recital nonetheless, hey guys, which was hard because you don't even know if people are watching. Like, you're telling them you're moving. You're like, hello, does anybody hear me? Do you know that we're not going to be there anymore? And it was crazy. It was like moving our family. We got the U-Haul, all of my teachers and I, we went through 16 years of memories, and it was a bigger space, and we had to go to somewhere a little smaller, and it was scary. But anyway, in hindsight, I'm here in our new space that we actually created. We had a vision and created what would work, and we were able to build it out for what we need now. And but it would have never been possible. Talk about when Reese said what the community does and rallies for these kids. I am humbled by what I experienced over the last 6, 7, 8 months, that it stops me in my tracks, because none of it would have been possible if it weren't for the support that people threw out there to do anything they could to keep something positive rolling in the lives of kids. And I'm eternally grateful for that. So that's that about the move.
Tell us some secrets about remaining grateful through tough times.
It's easy, because you look at for me, I'm a mom. I have 4 kids that range from a high school senior getting ready to go away to college to a kindergarten son, and then 2 girls in between. And you're juggling that role, which is really important, because like all of us, they're all home now. We're running their classes at home with them, while we're also trying to navigate and run a business, and teach and still be present for your students when you're in the classroom, be present for your clients when they need you. But what makes it for me is to walk into the space, whether those kids are on the TV or whether those kids are in your classroom. They hang on everything you say and do. They race to log in or to be part of that community. And you realize what an important role it is that we have as dance teachers and dance school owners in the lives of these kids. We are their people. Like, we are their safe place. We are their home base. We are everything for them. And this is their outlet. And so you see that one moment of that spark of joy in them, and it fuels me. Like, it just pushes me to work harder and try harder. And I've said to the kids multiple times, you all motivate us as teachers. Like, your resiliency, they put their masks on, they come to class, they log on, they know how to do all this stuff that we didn't even know how. I didn't even know how to use Zoom, much less how to figure out how to get into a class and do all that. And they just do it. And then it just, I don't know, it just motivates me to be more and more present for them. And then when you see them shine and beam walking out of here, and reset it, they get in the car. We've had parents call us and say, I got to tell you the conversation in the car tonight. And it's those things that, like, those little nuggets. And I said this to Ree the other day, you hold on to those one thing, focus on the joy, not the setbacks, not the difficulties. But if we stop focusing on the difficulties and setbacks and focus on those little pieces and moments of joy, it'll push you forward.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. I want to show everybody some of the things that you've done in your studio, but before we do that, I want to tell everybody about a company that has supported us for a long time. It's Weissman Costumes. Weissman's is an American costume and dancewear company that's been in business for over 60 years and has remained family owned. They have a true passion for the art of dance and dedication to impeccable customer service, making Weissman a destination for made-to-order and in-stock costumes, glassware, dance team styles, gymnastics wear, accessories, shoes, and more.
That was beautiful. Right there. You watch dance and you think that's just such an expression of your soul. Oh my God. That was
the same thing. Beautiful dancers. Thank you so much, Weissman. Thanks for showing us beautiful dance as well as producing great dance. So Heather, I know that one of the things that you have this gratitude for this holiday show that you just pulled off. I'm
Yeah.
going to have a short video, and then we'll talk about it on the other side. So tell us about that. And first of all, I love the little girl dancing in the background.
I know, she was everything. One of my teachers captured that moment, and I was just like, oh my gosh. So that show might be, in all the years, our holiday show's always been our most favorite show, because it's just such it's not over rehearsed. It's not anything. It's just a celebration of the kids and the holidays and being together. And so as we were entering to get closer and closer to those dates, and you're looking at how do we do this? There's the theater capacity so limited. If you even are comfortable going into a theater, are you able to do that? Can you do that? And all those signs were pointing to no for us. So then in this new space, we have a parking lot outside. And so I asked my landlord, would it be okay with you I don't know if he knew what I was asking, but I just kind of said, listen, would it be okay if we do this showcase in the parking lot? And he's so supportive. He's like, whatever it takes for these kids, do it. You have my permission. So then we got in contact with a friend who builds outdoor summer stages for concerts and events. Someone we've worked with for years with lighting and sound at different venues. And so, explained what we were trying to do. And he was like, yeah, I have this option. And he's like, and I can build the truss and the moving lights, and I can make it look like a concert. Like we're outside at a rock concert. So I was all set to go. I had this all planned out. I said, we're going to come with beach chairs. People are going to bring their own beach chairs. They're going to sit in the parking lot. We're going to give them their own zone, like a pod to sit in. It'll be all spread out. Kids will be in masks, people in masks. And we're ready to sell, not tickets, but sell the pods. Like we're going to sell the pod, because we had to make some sort of revenue to be able to offset the cost of this concert thing that we're building. And we gave the kids no costumes. We were just like, you're going to wear a red sweatshirt and that's it. And you're going to wear a coat. I don't care if you wear a coat, a winter hat, ski pants, gloves, because it's freezing. I was like, you wear whatever you need to wear so you're comfortable outside. So we go to sell the tickets, and this is unbelievable. The governor changes the outdoor limit as we've already started ticket sales, and it takes it from what the number was down to 150 people all in. That's inclusive of your dancers, your faculty, your audience. And I was like, and so I said, okay, we've changing directions now. You are only allowed to have 2 people to come sit in your pod, 2 beach chairs only. And we're going to run 10 shows, and they're going to be little and short, because we can only have X amount of kids in each show. And we're still building the slideshow. Like I've talked to you in the past about building these slideshows. So we're still doing all these things. And then it comes to show week, I should say. And now the governor, by the end of the week, it's going to go down to 25 people outside. So now you're on like a crunch. Like, okay. So
is that the kids too?
What's that? That's including the kids, 25 all in. That's all in. So
the time by the time we got there.
We're watching the Weather Channel like it is our job. I was like, I don't know. We got to get 10 shows in somehow, and we have this X amount of time. One day we had to cancel because it was like a tornado outside of all days. And I was like, then the next day we're going to have to call everybody at the school and tell them, okay, your show's now been moved to tomorrow, like no notice, and they're going to run 4 shows back to back, and it's going to be no problem. And my staff was just like, oh my God. But you just keep hustling. So anyway, we show up, we do the show on the last. So the setup, with 2 funny quick things. When they set this up and our staff and parents and kids came around the corner, it was like, you felt like you walked into an outdoor rock concert, and there were maybe 40 people in it didn't matter if there was 10 people or 40, but we had this huge setup for that. So we start running these shows, and I bring the kids. It was all outside, but we'd meet inside for a quick meeting. And we said to them something, and this struck a chord for me that this holiday show is one that I will never forget. And I have to say, I think it was one of the most emotional ones that we've ever done. Most unrehearsed. I mean, we couldn't tell if they were going to know the dances or not. Not to mention, we didn't even start dancing inside here till the end of September, early October. And half of the time we're virtual, half we're in person. You don't know if they're on, all of them virtual. So anyway, we're just got there and have a good time. Some of the dancers are under a minute because you just have no time. So anyway, the kids inside, I was like, y'all have a gift. And I was like, and you have a gift of dance. I said, and everybody out there hasn't been able to see that gift and see you shine. And tonight, that's the people there are there to just, you have a chance to offer them something that's going to change their perspective. This has been a real dark time for so many. And through the gift of dance, you might, even if you reach one person in that audience, you're going to make a difference. And we were able to, my staff, not me, my staff figured out how to live stream our shows and then link it to the website. So these guests that originally could come because they were allowed to bring 5 people and then they got cut. So those people now could watch it live from the computer or TV. And then on the last day, we come to work and the Marley floor that's laid on top of the rock concert floor is a sheet of ice, like complete ice. And the show's supposed to start in an hour. It's like, what are we going to do? We live in like the beach in New Jersey. I was not expecting that. So my husband's out there like a leaf blower and I'm out there like an ice scraper. And then my staff is like, rip the Marley up. We have to bring it inside. So we're like, and it's like ice, like it's heavy. We're lugging the Marley inside. They're on their hands and knees scrubbing, blowing like industrial fans to try to like melt it. And then we run it back out, lay it down. The first car pulls up and we're like, hey, welcome to the show. Like it never happened. Meanwhile, we're all like fully in a panic. But looking back, the kids and the parents said to us, I mean, we had little twinkle lights in the parking lot. It was like the most homespun beach chairs snuggled up with blankets performance that when they left, there was like not a dry eye. People were like, this is what it's about. We are lucky and blessed to have these kids in our lives. And every guest left just saying, thank you for shifting my focus and realizing our blessings. Like there are blessings all around. And dance was the language that spoke to so many. And I don't know, it was memorable. And the community rallied. Talk about that. That wouldn't have been possible. Here's the police chief comes up. What do you need? How can we help? They're bringing 1 million cones to block things off. We have barricades. We had those like crank light stands that go all the way up to light. I learned how to run a light stand with a generator. Never knew I'd know how to do that. I feel like I'm learning like fair. I can run a fair probably now. And so we're out there. I'm like, this is how you crank it up. This is how you turn the generator.
They had to run a carnival.
That's gonna be next. We were gonna call it like the holiday festival, like the outside festival, because I was like, we can have vendors. I was all ready to like go all in. But anyway, all the community then all the neighbors, I had to knock on their door because we're in a neighborhood. So I was like, excuse me, we're gonna have a few holiday shows. I didn't mention 10, a few holiday shows for the next several days. You're welcome to watch, and they were all like, oh my God, I'm so excited. We've been hearing the music. And then the day that sound techs put those subwoofers up, they cranked them so loud because they were rock concert speakers that the police came flying over and I am like in a sweat. They're like, who's in charge? Then the guy said, it's our fault. We haven't run our equipment since March and this was such a treat for us to get it all out, crank it all up. So like they found joy in like running their things, like everybody. It was contagious. Like it was just the best. It made you forget about everything for a week. And I don't know, just be grateful for what we got.
Yeah, grateful for what we got, and once again proving that dance changes lives, and that we need it, and that our kids' families need it as well.
But that was evidence then.
And your neighbors around the studio, they needed it. They didn't even know they needed it.
There were people in the grocery store parking lot pulling over, watching from their cars. I went out to a store the other day and I had to give my email, and the lady goes, oh yeah, we heard your holiday shows. I was like, oh, you did? She was like, yeah, I live around the corner. And she goes like, I didn't know what it was. I had to come over. She goes, and then I kept coming back every night because there was a different show. I was like, I had no idea it was so here. You're just spreading like, we reached the most people spreading cheer ever. And the kids couldn't wait to get out there and do it. They like looked forward to the moment to go out there, and it became like they raced out the door. It was so exciting. It was something that I will never forget. And to me, again, as a teacher and a school owner, I didn't care how I felt inside. Was I exhausted? Was I tired? Was I nervous? Was I everything? All that went away because you just keep showing up for those kids, and they had for a moment they could forget to and just dance. It was so wonderful. It was really cool.
You're really cool.
Thank you.
I want to share with our viewers a wall in your studio. As we're running this video, I'd like you to describe what's happening here.
Sure. This is a hallway. This is our hallway of snowflakes. This hallway changes periodically with different things that we put up from the children that they make. But this was an activity that one of my teachers did years ago and linked it to a dance activity. And we kept it going as a tradition at Shoreline, where it's Snowflake Week. So every kid at Shoreline makes a snowflake out of paper, and then you can do it two different ways. One way was to talk about 5 different things that you're feeling inside, like where are you today, just like a check of where you are emotionally. And then the other way, which is how we chose to do it this year, was 5 different things that describe you, what makes you unique and different, remembering that snowflakes are so beautiful because they're all different, just like us. We would be real boring if we were all the same. And so as they went through and they started writing about their qualities that made them who they were and what made them special and unique, and then we hung them up on the wall. And what we found started happening is as the kids were coming into class, I wish I had video of that, stopping and like looking at the snowflakes and reading them and reading about what each other said. And what it did was it helped the kids feel part of, again, a community. Everything you want to do is to nurture a place for them, because in the world we're in right now where everything is online, digital, it's hard to have that connection when you're not like in dance. We're feelers, we're huggers, we're touchers, we're movers. And you want to have that, you want to help these kids feel those same feelings, but you have to find ways to do it. And even the kids who are at home and virtual, they made their things. Parents would drop them off, they're hung up, then we'll show the kids with the videos down the wall, so then they see their snowflakes, that they're part of their community also. Anything you can do, we did, and we had done this for years too, a gratitude chain went down there and just different things that they're grateful for. And then again, the kids are reading and looking through that. We incorporate a lot of activities like that in the classroom, be it online or in person, because it just kind of brings the kids together in a way that's beyond dance. And then if you can foster that community, I've always said it will break down barriers for the kids so they can, they can feel comfortable and this is their place.
A community.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you, what did they write on the stars this year? Tell me.
5 things that talked about like who they were, like what made them unique. Who are they? Like what's cool about them? What's unique about them? And even the little ones, like they're drawing, like what are 5 of your favorite things? And they're trying to draw like their dog or like their family. And so, because they can't write their words yet. And some of the snowflakes, don't really look like snowflakes because they're trying to cut them out and figure out. And, but they had fun doing it. And then they had fun like thinking, well, what makes me different? And then I always say to them, aren't you glad we're all different? I was like, because I always pick on my own voice. I was like, I must have the most annoying voice on the planet. Could you imagine if you had to hear me? I was like, and we all sounded like that? Thank God we don't. I was like, we all have differences. And they always giggle about that. But I was like, that's what makes it cool. And in dance, and I can equate it to their bodies. We don't all move the same. We were all built differently. And we're all built really wonderful with our own qualities. And you want to keep driving that point home to them that they're perfect just the way they are.
So the snowflake concept is that there won't be 2 snowflakes that are the same.
Yeah, correct. And then you leave it up as your hall decor, for the winter. And then we do it in the summer or the spring with flower petals. And then the petals, you have different things that they write about. We do it with hearts at Valentine's Day. You can do all kinds, I won't go into all that, but you could do all sorts of things like that. And it just helps those kids fill and feed their soul so they can dance and express themselves.
So talk to our viewers who are studio owners and teachers about shifting their priorities to building that community, whereas maybe the last 4 or 5 years we've been trying to produce awesome dancers, and that's not our focus.
Yeah.
How do you tell somebody to shift a little, appreciate the other things that happen? Help us with that.
I think like the video you just showed with the dancers there from Weissman, I feel like if we can talk to our teachers or ourselves as teachers, if you're a teacher, not a school owner, and recognize that beautiful dance is going to come from inside, and beautiful dance can look different. It looks different with every body and every body type and person. And so when they dance from the inside out, whatever movement comes out is going to be absolutely beautiful if it comes from your soul. And if you can pour into the kids to build and strengthen their confidence in themselves and their belief in themselves, and letting them know that you are perfect just the way you are, and that dance is a chance for you to share that light inside of you, then they will grow as dancers. They will grow at their own levels, and what they do is going to be beautiful when they believe it. You just have to help them believe it. And I think that's one of the things we should focus on as dance teachers is nurturing the spirit of those kids, and they'll take it far beyond the dance classroom.
Yes, they will. I have a way of saying what you just said. What if we said to ourselves as teachers, it's not about are we good technical teachers? Are we instead capable of getting kids to believe in themselves and that they can do it, which then makes them strong dancers?
Yes, that you hit the nail on the head.
It's a different thought process. What if we just made every kid believe that they can do it and we started there?
Yeah, well, think about what that would look like in the classroom. Because once that barrier's down and that confidence starts to build, they'll go for anything. And the more you encourage them and feed in and feel that, it's just, they're gonna soar. And you see it, like you can see it. And with whether they're a recreational 1 hour a week dancer or they're here every day or online every day, every kid needs it, whether they're 3 or 18. They all need it. Even as adults, we need it. You need somebody to fill your soul and your spirit so that you can believe in yourself and get stronger and keep going.
Agreed, 100%. So, what are your thoughts as you're heading into the new year? Are you looking, I know what your answer is, I asked this question. Are you optimistic?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, yes. I feel like, and I don't ever want to downplay anything that any of us are going through, because I am in it with y'all together from our business standpoint, but and also as a parent, I'm watching the emotions of our kids, and I'm recognizing the importance of, as I said earlier, if we shift our focus and focus on the joy, the whatever joy came out of that day, if it's one thing, if it's 3 things, whatever, and focus on that, and we won't cloud ourselves and get so heavy on our hearts about the other things that are swirling around. And if you can stay focused on that, obviously we'll have to deal with those things, but it won't be so heavy. We'll be able to bring some sort of light to these kids. So for me, moving forward, I want to personally, I had a quote I would like to share with you.
Okay.
I had a quote that said, at the end of the day, all you need are hope and strength. Hope that it will get better, and strength to hold on until it does. And you got to believe that. Like, you got to believe that as a society and the world, that everybody's working so hard to move forward and past this. And the community has rallied in so many different ways to support small business owners. There's people are trying so hard to try to help us keep these dreams that every small business owner had a dream to do something. And so when you start realizing how the world is trying to rally together to move past this, we're living in a really unique time. I mean, and then you look at your role, you are, sorry, this just makes you a little bit emotional. We are going to be a voice in those kids' lives that they're going to look back at this time, and it's going to matter to them what we did. What did we do during that time? And so those are the decisions when I wake up every day and come to work, like, what am I going to do that's going to make a difference for these kids, or even for your faculty? How can you keep moving forward so that they're excited to move forward too? And you just got to realize that they need that, and everybody needs that. And they'll remember, I think, and they'll look back and be like, yeah, it was a really scary time, but you know what? I had this solid dance community, and that was my place. I'd be real lost without that. And I feel that way about here at Shoreline. I'd be lost without the people here.
Yes, and I think something that's happening in these last 10 months that people aren't realizing, but will, especially younger people, is yes, that recital may not have been in an auditorium. Your graduation may not have happened the way that everybody else's graduation happened. But that graduation parade that drove by your house with 100 people, you will remember that forever. You'll be telling your grandchildren that story. And you don't know that you're going to cherish that memory.
Oh,
And the same thing goes for that recital that was on the drive-in. There were kids who went to drive-ins to see themselves who've never been to a drive-in in their life.
I know, and you've all shared it. Like as a dance community, seeing all of your posts and the creativity and the ways you found to make these memories for the kids are so amazing. And it's cool to see how everybody's sharing it. Like, try this. Did you think about maybe trying this? This worked. I don't know if this is going to work. I'm going to give it a shot. And like all this stuff's been coming out. And excuse me, as a dance community, what creative things have people been doing? Like drive-ins or these drive-bys. Like then you see, you see when they're doing those drive-bys for the seniors or for whatever it is. What that felt like for that senior to see all the support, like car after car after car come by when we had that happen here. I mean, I'll never forget it. I stood and cried. I was like, oh my God. And I don't know that they would have felt that in our old way of doing the showcase.
It's not all bad. That was the reason I wanted to bring you on to this program, because I know you always see the good. And I have to say that over the last 10 months, I have cried, laughed, learned. I know myself better than I've ever known myself. But I can't look back over the last 10 months and say this was awful. I'm grateful for the positive things that have happened.
Yeah. And that'll help you move forward when you think back to that and say, just keep your mindset there on the days that you need that.
Yes, yes, yes. So, Miss Heather, we're coming to the end, but before we close, I'm going to say again, thank you to Weissman for your sponsorship. Next week, tune in, same time, same channel, and we will have the final Monday Soul to Soul with LaShonda, Melissa, and Ricky. And then we'll be moving to Friday nights on January 8th. And if you want to check out past episodes or listen to some of our podcasts, go to rebuild.com. And before I go to you for final words of wisdom, I have one thing I want to say to our audience. We're headed into the holidays. The majority of us really got the days off. Let's take the time to appreciate where we're at. Let's not mourn what we don't have. Let's not mourn the Christmas that we may have had with all those people. Let us be grateful that we're here for Christmas. Let us be grateful for the people that we can be. Let us be grateful that we can make it through this Christmas and look forward to the Christmases that we want to have in the future with all of our family being healthy. Let's move into this next year being grateful for all the cool things that happen every day, but sometimes the negative tends to overpower in our minds. Start to reverse that. Let's make 2021 all about noticing that good stuff. How cool would that be? Miss Heather, some final words of wisdom for our listeners.
I want to echo that in saying that if you can make it in the new year to take each day, and at the end of the day, just reflect on a good thing that happened that day, or something that joy that you saw somewhere along the way in the journey, something, and then focus on that. And if we keep focusing on the positive like that, it is going to lift your own spirits and help you to be able to move forward into what you're faced with in the next days to come. And also, I want to say to all of you out there, I'm grateful for the internet and the community of everyone sharing so many of the ways that creatively you found ways to reach kids at this time where it's just remarkable. It's remarkable to see your creativity, your talents, and what you've shown these kids. And I just, as part of the dance community, I'm super proud to be part of this community, because as artists, this is our chance. Like, we're artists, we're creative. This is what we do. So this is the time to dig deep and find it and give it to those kids, and then just make it contagious so they'll carry it on. And I'm just real grateful to be part of the dance world. And I pray for everybody's health and safety. And I definitely will say my life, I am very blessed, and I'm grateful for everything. And that's my attitude and hope as we move next year. And I'm glad to be part of this with y'all. Thanks for having me.
I'm so glad to have you as a friend and a friend to our whole community.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays, everybody. And just cherish the time with your loved ones. We got them around, and we're lucky.
Merry Christmas, happy everything, whatever you celebrate. Take some time for yourself. And it's not a bad gift to give yourself this year a pat on the back for just having made it this far. How cool is that? See you on the 28th, next Monday. Have a great day, everybody.
Bye, everyone.